You must learn to be still in the midst of activity and vibrantly alive in repose. This was spoken by Indira Gandhi. She was the first female prime minister in India. With 2 decades held in office, she became an influential leader for India. Much can be said for this powerful woman, and today I will illustrate a brief summary so that you might get to know her better. Indira Gandhi was born into a political family on November 19, 1917. Her father became the first Prime Minister of India. He led India in the movement that ultimately resulted in independence from British rule. It has been said that little Indira Gandhi played many games that involved this fight for freedom. According to a broadcast from the station Biography, she had an unhappy childhood because her father was frequently away due to his busy political career, and her mother was often sick. Her mother died very young from tuberculosis. She was raised primarily by tutors but received top-notch education. Attending many different schools, she is known for graduating from the University of Oxford, where the university has since honored her as an illustrious Asian graduate. It was at Oxford where she met her husband, who was also from India. After her return to India, she became her father's official hostess. After his death and the death of his predecessor, she was appointed Prime Minister of India. She held office 4 times and was a commanding figure in India for almost 20 years. While in office, she was seen by many as a great leader, but also she had many critics. According to a New York Times article in 2009 commemorating her life, Linda Charlton summarizes her accomplishments in office by calling her a decisive leader. She led India into a nuclear age. She brought India into space when India sent its first satellite into outer space. She led India in a victory against Pakistan, which resulted in the creation of Bangladesh. During her time in office, she held a very tight relationship with the Soviet Union, which resulted in the creating of a powerful Indian army. She was often referred to as a strong and powerful woman. She was quoted saying this: "My grandfather once told me that there were 2 types of people, those who do the work and those who take the credit. He told me to try to be in the first group. There was much less competition." I think this sentence speaks immensely about her character. However, unfortunately, not all of India respected Mrs. Gandhi. North India started to protest because of the ill state of the economy. There was extreme corruption, and this led to her loss in popularity. She had a brief time away from office. However, in 1980 she returned. Her next 4 years would be her last. She died suddenly at the age of 66 by assassination by her own bodyguard. He was a member of a group of militants called Sikh. They referred to her as a modern-day Hitler because she attacked their place of worship called the Golden Temple. This ultimately cost her her life. Preeta Agarwal, a biographer from PreserveArticles.com, said it best in her article dated in 2012 when she said that Mrs. Gandhi will be remembered for her commendable efforts in the development and progress of science, space exploration, irrigation, as well as policies like the nationalization of banks, but most of all, she will be remembered for being one of the greatest leaders the country has ever had. So even throughout her political ups and downs, she is remembered in India and the rest of the world as a great leader and a powerful woman.